Hello, welcome to Queen's Park. We're on the Bakerloo line, Trade Sim World 4, and we're going to take in a very interesting run to Elephant and Castle today. Around about half an hour. First of all, let's get the train set up. Of course, the control key is always lurking a little bit behind the seat, so it's easier to get out of the seat. So we'll put that to in. Let's sit back in the seat again. And just to make sure we can hear the sounds a little better, I like to have the window open, and you have to do that little cutout, otherwise you're not going to get the train to move at all. Let's not forget the passenger lighting as well. We'll set the destination marker to Elephant and Castle. Direction selector key is now in. So we're into forward, and then let's just release the brakes, hear the air from them. So we're just waiting for that little marker there to give us the go-ahead. We're in the sheds at the moment. It's Queen's Park siding number 22. There we go. And it sets up a little bit like a rocket, this thing, so have to be a little bit careful. Using the excellent sound mod from the Train Sim community website. The original sounds were not brilliant, but this really does add the feeling of a 1972 stock Bakerloo line train. We have a very interesting scenario because this is Rush Hour Tube. It's a scenario 3 pack. This came from the Train Sim community website. It's called the Pie Train by Louis T64, but this one Rush Hour Tube within that pack of 3. I wasn't sure whether it'd still work actually on Train Sim World 4. Delighted to find that it does, because this is the best scenario that I've run on this particular piece of DLC, because it really replicates the feeling of Rush Hour, and there'll be plenty of red signals between here and Elephant and Castle. It's going to be quite demanding. I've switched off the signal indicator in the top right hand screen as well, so we've just got to visually spot them, and there's one or two that you find creeping around a corner as well, so not massively easy. We've got a red signal straight away. So we're alright now, that's going to green. Now, it's probably not very realistic at all to put the cab light on, but I just like to be able to see the track a little better, so it's just a personal preference. I think in reality it's extremely dark, but our first stop is Kilburn Park. the timetable that was built a couple of years ago now is pretty decent as well, but I've yet to find anything quite as intensive as this. Because the problem with the timetable is that it assumes that you're completely running to time and everything else is running to time. Red signals, Maida Vale next stop. It's quite an old piece of DLC now. This came from Train Sim World 2020. But even now it's one I'll have to come back to and have a little ride occasionally. Of course you can do the full run from Harrow and Wealdstone, but it's quite nice, this little short section through the tunnels from Queen's Park. It would be really good when they release the Barking to Gospel Oak add-on fairly soon with the Adventurer, if they could put that onto this route as well for that section between Queen's Park and Harrow and Wealdstone. Yellow indicator, so we know that there's a red coming up somewhere. So difficult because the signal's sometimes on the left, sometimes on the right. I'd love to know as well whether the view from the seat as we have it here is completely accurate, because you get the feeling that perhaps you get a little bit of a better view in real life. Maybe the seat's a little bit more to the left, but it'd be interesting to know the reality. Not just captured artistically these stations really well, but somehow they've managed to make it just slightly grimy, not completely clean. Adding to next, of course, quite a big interchange on the TfL network. And very often you can do a run on the tube and you get a completely clear run, but certainly experienced this at rush hour. Yellow accompanied by the green again means that we've got a red lurking. I know some people were a bit disappointed by the tiling and they say that's unrealistic. It does feel pretty immersive. We're okay, we're on green. The next one, it's cleared. Train on the platform on the right. Really is a great addition, the sound mod, and the really captures that wheel flange as you go around the corner there. I mean, there is no indicators about how long we have to stop at these platforms, but I'm kind of taking the view that we're late running, we have to get on with it. Really fascinating YouTube video which Dovetail Games did in conjunction with a real Bakerloo line driver, and the expertise is amazing. She knows the signals by their number. It gives you a real insight into the pitfalls of driving on the tube and what to look out for in the tunnel sections. Anybody who doubts the skill level required, it's interesting to watch these type of videos. Edgware Road, which of course is not in Edgware. And we've got a decent view of the red signal ahead, which is before Marylebone. So there's no point in charging up towards the signal, just trying to get a coast. You can actually see the train that's blocking us in the platform at Marylebone in front of us. It's cleared now. Nearly made the mistake of pulling away when I saw the train in front pull away. It takes a second or two for the signal to clear. It's automatic end of game if you go through a red light. almost smell the underground as you're riding this. So Baker Street is next. Of course, one half of why this line is called the Bakerloo line. Trying to react to the brakes in as measured as way possible as well. You don't want to be lurching or providing a difficult experience for the passengers, being thrown about. Of course, observe the fantastic artwork that's been put into this Baker Street station with the fictional character by Arthur Conan Doyle of Sherlock Holmes, well represented. Green. If you can't observe the signal from the cab, then it's certainly worth just checking as we did there. It's one of the crossovers which enables trains to turn back and do shorter services. So Regent's Park is up next. There it is. Is it really that difficult to see it in real life? Yeah. We're okay now. We're on to green. Some fantastic artwork, and it's quite clever with the idea of the mirror reflection. This is the oldest piece of rolling stock, I believe, in the UK. These 1972 stop Bakerloo line trains, fully manual. There's no automated sections at all. You have the sections of the Met line that are automatic, and then the Victoria line is essentially automatic. Is it the Jubilee line? Piccadilly? Not totally sure. There was a recent video of a retiring TfL driver who did a little series, and he was driving a fully automated train. On an automatic train they still have drivers, but apart from dealing with things if it doesn't quite work, essentially the train will stop itself, and all you pretty much have to do is open the doors. You do have to have your wits about you, because of course on a normal train you'll get the AWS. There's no warning at all. I'd love to know if the signals are sighted in precisely the right positions. Again, it's route knowledge. The drivers will know exactly where the signals are, and they'll know the ones that are slightly awkward to spot. There was one or two people disappointed with this little bit. Piccadilly Circus. I think that this little bit here as you come in should be on a slight curve. But despite the age of this add-on, it's still absolutely immersive to ride. What I keep coming back to. I'd like to find a really difficult northbound run as well that represents rush hour. There are a couple of line runs recommended on the awesome Trains of World forum. Nothing as good as this. And incidentally, if you're thinking this is really too noisy, it can't be this noisy in real life, well, take a ride on the Bakerloo line, and they are very noisy. And as far as I'm aware, no immediate plans to get rid of them yet. It's possible, of course, to completely turn off that thing at the right, but trying to learn all the speed limits exactly would be quite a task. It certainly goes up and down. Come to Charing Cross. We are getting towards the latter stages now. Embankment is next, so we're basically on the edge of the River Thames. And again, you can see the train lurking. I suppose it's a job like anything else, but I can't imagine ever being bored doing these runs in real life. And of course it must vary virtually every time. Just by the green, so we're okay after embankment. It would be amazing if they could put in proper announcements for this. This would really make this even more immersive. It's good that we've got all the depots represented there. We've got London Road Depot. I didn't even know that existed before this DLC came in. Of course, the roads at Queen's Park, Stonebridge Park. Just got to that stage in the journey. Just don't want to get caught out by just one signal. We're okay, we're green. Under the River Thames at the bit between Embankment and Waterloo Station. Got the penultimate stop coming up at Lambeth North. You've got somewhere around here where you branch away to London Road Depot. Cleverly designed this scenario though, because it's not just the occasional stray red signal, it's constant. No idea whether the writer just spent ages just trying out this, just trying to get it absolutely right. Imagine there be too many waiting to board the train this side. It's probably just as quick to walk to Elephant and Castle from here, surely. So we've got one stop left, our final destination, Elephant and Castle. So we just got to again keep a rigorous eye out, because there are a couple of platforms that we can enter, and there might just be one little final red signal as we wait for the path into our final station. To mess it up, not this late, please. I mean, it's great bowling along at 100 miles an hour. On a fast train, but this is just something else. now got clearance into the platform. It's an interesting point, because if we go on the platform on the right, and some trains do certainly terminate there, pretty much alternate, it's a 10-mile-an-hour restriction, so is it really 20 if you enter this side? And we have made it. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this Train Sim World scenario. I certainly have. A fantastic rush hour tube run from Queen's Park to Elephant and Castle, and hats off to the creator. It's been around for some time, but very glad to see it still works. Well, if you've enjoyed the video, hope you have. I certainly enjoyed the ride. Then if you don't mind liking and subscribing, that will help me enormously. And until next time, whether it's Train Sim World, whether it's Train Sim Classic, whether it's planes, or maybe a little bit of real world train action to come as well. But for now, it's goodbye.